Top of the morning to you. This is Humam Abdulmalik, back in like the top of the morning, before dawn, before the sunrise, coming from the realization of what's going on in our elevation of our communities and in our minds, and what we need to do as a people, coming together in unity. And let me say, peace, power, and love. The essence of it is universal and divine. From the pathways of our ancestors in African spirituality, no matter what religion you want to practice, we have to go back to African spirituality, the beginning of all of this theology, and see in the realization of who we are and what we're going through and what we've been going through, we got to overcome a lot of stuff. We got to reprogram ourselves from the program that we've been in, the indoctrination that we've been in order to be clear of that negative energy or the negative information and of his lies, of the series of lies that have been programmed into us to follow a way or perpetrate a way that's not in nature with us as a people. And I know I sound redundant sometimes, but the reality is the redundancy is needed, because we need to clear ourselves. We need to purify ourselves. We need to purify our temple, which is our body, which houses the energy of the Creator, that spirit and the soul that gives us life, that breath of life. That's the energy of the Creator within all of us. And some of us has dealt with the negative energy, because all energy comes from the one source. When they talk about God and the devil and all that, that's all one and the same. It's a game, really. Is a illusion of control, sort of. And the sort of is a strong sort of, because if we don't go back and get an understanding of the facts, then we're going to be in this quagmire, deceptive maze that was created by those who came into power. They came into power and they created a system to perpetrate itself. For instance, just talking about the Willie Lynch syndrome. Well, how many years ago? 300 years ago. I give it that much time. And what did he say? He said he's going to put in a system that's going to take care of itself, recycle itself, perpetrate itself. And what do we see? We see that it is it's still here. We had the the young against the old, the light skin against the dark skin, the good half against the bad, all those idiosyncrasies and all those perceptions of things that divide us. And the most common divide and conquer that there is religion. To be so sad to say that. The perception and conception of Christianity and Islam and Hebrew, all of it, it got us going away from each other instead of coming together. And what it's supposed to be about? Don't it supposed to be bringing us together? That's because we're not in that particular fold. It separates us. It repels us from each other. How can it repel us from each other? We are all human and melanated, of the same background, same source, same identity, and all that. We got the same identity, but lack the same energy, when the energy is universal. The essence of the Creator is universal. What separates it is the ideologies of these certain religions. and religions are man-made, and it's man-made by a deceptive man. Not saying that how can I put it so it won't be like I'm attacking these holy words from these holy books or these people that practice these institutions of learning. But if we look at the reality of it, we don't know nothing about our culture pertaining to outside 2016 years. And if we don't go black into that, then we'll never have a concept of who we truly are. And if you not have a concept of who you truly are, you won't really be truly who you're supposed to be. So our principles of every day should be a principle of bringing us closer together. I know one thing we got to stop doing in our community, it's hurting us. Not only it's hurting generations of us, because it affects generations of us, and that's that killing of us by ourselves through whatever is it, self-hate, money, women, or whatever. It's not necessary. We need to change our thinking and believe we can do that and know we can do that. Because if we are not in control of ourselves, something or somebody else is. And we've been under control of indoctrination, again, of social narcotics called white supremacy and institutionalized racism. I mean, like, because when we go to these schools, we're not taught about us culturally or spiritually until later on in the indoctrination process. All the early years, what are you taught? You taught about the founding fathers and never telling a lie about chopping down a cherry tree. I remember it when I went to school. I believe they still be saying the same thing. I don't know, because they don't even want you to have black history in schools. The curriculum trying to take us away from who we are and trying to mold and shape us into something else that we're not naturally. And we got to hold on to that energy of the essence of the Creator. And when you get into the essence, you get into the beginning, the primary source. And there's only one source. There's only one source of this energy we call the Creator, and people say God or whatever, but I don't like using the word God. You turn it around as dog. And if you go into the history of that, you can go and find some Roman practice with Romulus and Remus or whatever, and you can find out some contextual information about that. That's why I'm trying to change my language, change my thinking in order to rise up, to elevate me as a human being, as a spiritual, energetic being with a purpose in life. I mean, my wants, I have them because that's a natural emotion or a natural way of life to want. But my need to be is more than anything. My need to be mentally free. My need to be me. My need to be a servant of the Creator, of the essence of life. That is my need to be. It is all our needs to be. But some just take that a little more serious than others, naturally, because of the nature of, by that divine decree that's in them, that energy that they feel, that insight, that motivation. In that way that's how I am. Even though I ain't no celebrity, I ain't got no lot of money, or none of that. But in my growth and development, the doors or whatever gonna open for my need, not my want. Because, see, they manipulate your want and make your aspirations far beyond your dreams, far beyond your reality. That's why we're always trying to be like somebody else. They commercialize that thing like, be like Jordan. You can't be like nobody. You can't be like Mike. You got to be like yourself. We always walking around with jersey, football jersey, basketball jersey, with somebody's name, somebody else's name on the back. But you can't be that. You can only be you. That's for each and every one of us. And in that essence, we got to heal ourselves. We got to heal ourselves so that we can be a healing force in our community. And our brothers or our sisters who are like have that criminal mentality or that mentality to hurt, because they say hurt people hurt people. Good quote, good or whatever. People deal with that, but we got to overcome that. We got to overcome all those quotes that hold us down like a weight. We need to be up. We need to elevate. We need to go to the apex of life instead of the abyss of life. We don't. You might have to go down to get up. You do have to get down to get up. And when you're up, you might have to go down to have a balance, because there's always somebody that's going to need your help. But you got to look at yourself in the reflection of the mirror and ask yourself who you are and what you are. What's your purpose in life? What is your purpose of being here? What are you here for? What are you on the planet Earth for? Is it to chase the dreams and of obtaining, being a millionaire, being a celebrity? Is your wants greater than your needs? Are you really a servant of the people? And I speak not lightly of that, because I claim to be a servant of the people. How do I serve the people? By what I have. What I have is like minerals, like gold and diamonds, right? Because it's in my mind. You know how you got a mind to go get the minerals? That's where I'm at, by being self-taught through the pathway of my ancestors, by divine decree. It can't be no other way. Look at me. I ain't been to school. I ain't never graduated from nowhere. But I'm very insightful. I know our story. I apologize for that interruption. And at this time, I really do apologize for that. And anybody that know that this is the time frame for me to be on the air, please don't call in, because it's an interruption. Please. I humbly apologize again. But life is life. I have someone calling in at this time. It's an interruption, but it's cool. And as I was saying, we must be the example of who we are to overcome all negative energy that is programmed by design to be in our community. Forgive me again. It's what it is. We, the energy that we have is a spiritual energy. It's by divine decree. We got to be in that energy to uplift our selves and our people. I humbly apologize, but I just got to get it programmed to that can't happen. And I humbly apologize. It just gives me that glitch that I got to get back on the energy path for that energy to connect to my conversation of and direction in my life so that I can give direction or not direction, but guidance or help of planting seeds of constructive seeds so that we can become healing, that we can heal each other. We have to do that. We got to heal. We got to heal, and we got to get the perception of who we are. And going back to the topic of dealing with African spirituality, that is the substance of our growth and development. That is the only way that we will get out of this quagmire, a deceptive maze that we be in, that we the institutionalized racism and the white supremacy is like a barrier that we got to overcome in our lives, because it's been in effect for years, since them first coming into Akabu land, from them first sanctioning this captivity, and then going through the process of coming over here and finding us and bringing some of us over here and to take us through all the things that we went through to build this nation. And where we at now, to this point, right now, we're in this situation, circumstances right now. We don't know the political dilemma that we might be facing right now. We don't know what direction it might go in. We don't know if it's going to be like Nero with his violin playing while the city and the nation is burning. What Martin Luther King told us like 50 years ago almost. He said, I might have taken us into a burning house. The house is burning. The house is on fire. We need the water to put it out, and the water is the knowledge of self. Once we get the knowledge of self and apply that in our lives and plant it like it seeds to cultivate minds, then that's where we will elevate ourselves as a community, as a people. And that's what we got to do. We got to overcome our indoctrination by design. They have become scientifically ingenious through our knowledge, and they turn it against us, flip it against us, and use it against us. So much so that they got the harp. A harp is a device that they can manipulate the weather. They got knowledge of the frequencies that affect you spiritually and physically. They got knowledge of chemicals or chemtrails that fall down on you and affect you. They got knowledge of fluoride that when you put it on your teeth and you might swallow it, it pacify you. They got knowledge of GMOs that affect your gender and stuff like that. We got to realize that we're at war. We got to realize that we're integrated in a system that's double-sided, maybe triple-sided. You got a good, bad, and demonic. I mean, demonic, I say that because of the things they can do, that they're capable of doing. They'll kill you slowly or kill you fast. But if we come together, unify with the perception of who we are, divine beings, and unify on that and heal and overcome that physical thing, that we overcome our wants and deal with our needs, our spiritual needs, needs of being a family, needs of having love and healing. That's what we need. That's the energy that we need in our community. We got to promote love, we got to promote peace, and we got to promote understanding of the innerverse. We promote that, we affect the universe. The universe is everything outside of us, and that's what we do. We gotta really develop ourselves on the spiritual level of and maybe I'll use this word also, esoteric level, to learn knowledge that they're not teaching. See, they take what we brought into this system. I'm talking about stuff from a long time ago, outside of 2016. I'm talking about maybe 50,016 or something like that. That information when we build pyramids, not only over there in Egypt and in interior of Nubia, Africa, but I'm talking about we build pyramids over here on the Colorado River, all up and down that river. There's evidence that pyramids was there. And in South America, the same thing, the big Amalek heads. That's us. See, they don't teach us about that because they don't want us to know who we are. We are divine beings. We've been here before everybody else, but we need to know that to deal with now. People say, oh, that's in the past. It is in the past, but it's your story. Everything that you learn in school is in the past, but he just add the other things to get you marketed. What it is, when you go to school, it's like being in a factory. They put all this information in, like they comparing a computer, right? Put all this data and all this in it, and then stamp you, made in America, and process you. They process you and do all those things, then push you out. And you be like a what? A robot, under robot control with all this information that ain't got nothing to do with your culture, but it suffices because you're getting all these nice things. You're dealing with your wants, because they got your eyes seeing everything, and you become the ultimate consumer. You ain't a producer, but you're the ultimate consumer, and you're on the pleasure principle, immediate pleasure. And look at me talking. I love dancing, but my dancing is for the libation to my ancestors. When I dance, that's what I dance about, and that's why I dance like I dance. And when I find similar energy, then that energy is like merging or whatever. It's not that let me see, I can't even find the word. The best word that I can describe my energy when I'm dancing, because I'm a dancer as well as a poet and those things, but they're to libations of my ancestors. Because I love me, I love my story, and not his lies. See, his lies ain't our story. His lies become his story, because he don't have no story. And when I say he, I'm talking about in generalizing the Neanderthal. I'll put it that way, to say who he is. So-called European Neanderthal with primate, who lived in the caves, came out the caves, carnivorous, dealing with bestiality and all those things. And we take on that mentality and that spirituality, and it's not ours. We have to go back to African spirituality and bring it up to where we at now, and love one another, and circle one another with love. Deal with our need, and not to say overlook our wants, but put them in their proper perspective. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, and apply it. I'm going to not only talk about it, I'm going to apply it in my life. And the seed that's being planted, we have to cultivate it with action. And don't forget about Martin Luther King parade coming up. And there was a good beginning of that yesterday. We had Dick Gregory and we had Martin Luther King Jr. in town, right in Southeast Ward 8. Good program. Put on by Ron Moulton and the Jack Kemp Foundation. I can say Hotep Ashe for that. But we got to keep doing things that's pertaining to black and us, economically, spiritually, and educationally. And most of all, we got to heal. We got to heal ourselves and overcome all those, people say again, hurt people. We got to overcome those concepts and say, healing people heal people. We got to say that brothers and sisters come together. We got to say, brothers, put down the gun and stop killing one another. It's a ripple effect, and you're not only affecting who's gone, you're affecting their family. That generation ain't got no guidance. the natural guidance, then if you go get caught, you're gonna go to jail, and that's cut off. Your life is cut off, or you might, perhaps whatever. Anything can happen. But if we don't live in that arena, if we don't vibe on that vibration, why are we doing it? You ever question yourself why you take somebody's life? You ever question yourself? Is it because of the drugs, the drinking, or the mentality, the spirit? Or you don't know. My 2 cents or half a 2 cent is that it's all by design for those that can manipulate the mind through frequencies and vibrations and this and that. It's by design it's for depopulation. See, our population is by nature growing, and the people that nature or population is decreasing by nature naturally because sunlight, lack of melanin, and all that. See, that's a reality that we have to get in and know about ourselves, because if we don't know ourselves, then we can't act upon being ourselves. And we as a people are the original people upon this planet. We are the people that brought in the sciences. Every science that is on the planet, we brought it into the being, and we lost it through manipulation and flagrism and the murder and the killing of our scientists and the captivity and all that. And a lot of it was beat out of us, but we still have that knowledge because it's eternal. That's why we got to understand. Why you think we got all these people to patent all these things and don't get credit for it? All the people they put out there, Thomas Edison and the other brothers and all that, they didn't do anything. They took, because they was in power, because we was like in captivity. So when we patent something, they took it. Or when we patent something, we didn't have the power to take it all the way through. And I just want to say that I love universally. I love my people universally. And we got to stay strong, especially in this political climate. It's winter in America, but it's warm outside. Because they're going to make it warm because they manipulate the weather. And we got to stay unified or become unified in this day and time. We got to step back and observe and see what happened. Because there's a lot of people saying Trump. Yeah, I did say Trump. I didn't say chump. Is going to be all right. It's going to be all right. But I don't see how it can be all right with the people the circle he's forming, his cabinet. And if the news, the propaganda news is saying that these people are not saying unfit, but saying that their cause is the cause of white supremacy. And they say that they racist and all that. If they put that out, then how can everything be all right? What's their agenda with those type of mentalities in the highest seat in the land? I'm telling you, is it going to be like Nero playing that violin while everything's burning? That's why we got to unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure within this structure. We can't be integrationists no more. We got to come out. So many people, like the nation, said, come out and develop your own. Like the African Revolutionary Movement long ago. Come out, give us some land, five states, and develop there. The brother York, he has so many titles that they developed a community in Atlanta where they had pyramids and stuff like that, but it was taken from them. It's about growth, development, and unification. Now, if we all come together, the Christian, the Muslims, and this, and all come together and be one united family, in the United Snakes of hypocrisy under satanic administration, then we'll be better off as a people. But they got us separate. They got us like this instead of like this, which is power. Economical power, educational power, spiritual power, the power that we need to manifest, again, our greatness upon the planet in a matriarchic way. That's right, a matriarchic way. That's when harmony and peace was upon the planet. When we had ma'at, the balance. That's the African spirituality that I'm talking about. Not a political way of life where that's about control. That's about control of the economics, control of the food, control of the mind, to have you a certain way, walking in a certain way. They're trying to conform us to be a certain way, especially our children, because they going through that manufacturing process in school every day. And if they're not strong and have a strong a background or a strong support system, then they're going to be caught up in this emulation of the European or the North or whatever you want to say. I can't pull no punches. The reality is what it is. We live in a racist society. There's social narcotics that have been in this system for the longest, since 1776, when we were still in captivity. They put that thing together, and the Emancipation Proclamation, they put that thing together. But why did they have to put it together? Why did they ever have to exist? It was the inhumanity of mankind to humanity. I'll say that one more time. It was the inhumanity of mankind to humanity that still exists today in the political games that they play. But we got to have soldiers and warriors that are about us and for us, to be in those arenas, in that quagmire maze of deception, and speak truth to power. With that, I would like to say, stay focused. Stay focused. Stay observant. Be loving all the time. Self-healing is an expression of our healing as a whole. You got to heal yourself. You got to change your words and your thinking, because that's what motivates you. The information to come out, or the data that goes in, whatever you feed yourself going to come out. The physical food, the mental food, and the spiritual food. It's going to come out in the mental food and the spiritual food going to come out in actions, words, or deeds. We see it every day. You drink that alcohol, what you going to be? You're going to be on the, or you take that flacco or whatever be having our people affected out there, off balance. You see it every day, example. But if you see the other side of that, those people that's purifying their temple, that's feeding their spirit, feeding their mind correct information, you see how they are. You see that discipline in them. You see that light in them. You see that need to express the truth. But we all human beings, and we laugh, we smile, we do what we do. But when we do what we do, let's do it in a manner that's going to be uplifting. Uplifting for yourself and for your people. Our people. I'm not saying I'm not anti other people, but I'm pro us. I'm pro black. Yes, I'm pro black. I'm a race man. And I got that quote or that saying from one of the most prolific men that was in Washington, and me being a Washingtonian. I heard him say that, brother, Mayor for Life, Myron Bird. Strong brother. Yeah. So I am a race man. And I think I got that from Hakeem Adabuti too. That quote. See, I try to be original, but when I use other people's stuff, I'm going to let you know that's where it's coming from. But if I say something and it be me, coming from me originally, then I ain't got to say nothing. But I'm not a flagrist. I'm not going to do that. People fraglarize your stuff and all that and build from it and all that. But it's cool. But it's neither here nor there, because our job, or my job, is to sprout seeds of growth and development, cultivate seeds in the mentality, in the conscious and subconscious mind of our people, beginning with my mind and my subconscious and conscious mind first, because that's where it's developed by divine decree on the pathways of my ancestors. That energy is instilled in me divinely. I accept it, I proclaim it, and I named it that because that's what it is. I am a product not of my environment per se, but from my environment, of a spiritual environment, of coming in this realm from the blessings of my ancestors and the Creator. And some people say I asked to come here, That's a concept that I got to grasp. So I got to learn more about that understanding. But in the pyramid, the chambers in the pyramids of my mind, my growth and development is from all time, because time didn't exist until they tried to confine it. See, it's all about space, and this open space is the universe that's affected by the universe. And with that understanding, I would like to say, love somebody, hug somebody, let them know that they are somebody. Lift them up. Don't put them down. Heal is about healing, self-healing. Overcome self-hate. Overcome the indoctrination of the factory process of being indoctrinated in America. You got to learn your story. It ain't nothing wrong with going to school and getting those degrees and this and that. But when you do that, don't go just to get a job. Be one to produce jobs. Be a producer. Be a producer, an entrepreneur. Be always creating so you can help somebody else. And that concept about them crabs always pulling people down, look at it a different way. That one crab to get out, he just trying to get some more out. And there's a lot of them down there and they want to get out. It ain't that they pull them down, it's that it's more down than up. So the ones that up, we got to get enough on the other side of that so we can turn that around and say, it's not a crab pulling one down or like a crab pulling one down. It's one like a crab pulling one out. And I don't like that term anyway, because I'm a Cancer. No, I'm just joking about that. But anyway, again, I love y'all. I love me. I love me first of all, in the spiritual way, in the physical way, in the mental way. And I'm here to support us in any way I can, more so the way I do, through the words that I speak, because that's all I have to offer now. Because like I say, I ain't got no money. If I get some money, a lot of money, believe me, I'm gonna be passing it like that. But it ain't always about money. See, words are power. Words are spells. See, if you spell the word correctly, you can produce, you can manifest in your reality, in our reality. As an alchemist, as a so much we can go into, but one day at a time, one step at a time, one level at a time. Peace, power, and love for my